Welcome to Magic on Tap, the Magic the Gathering and Beer Review podcast. I'm Xavier.
And I'm Jack.
And today we are going to be talking about the Warhammer 40k Commander decks that are coming up.
Fuck them.
Yeah, fuck them. I don't know why we do this.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
But first we are going to do the Barkeep Upkeep. In honor of Warhammer 40k, we are going to be drinking barrel-aged beers because 40k is a lot and barrel-aged beers are a lot. So, Jack, what you pouring?
I have, from our very own Town Brewing, Old Grog. It's a rum barrel-aged Imperial Brown Ale rested on orange peels, and it's great. I like brown ales a lot, but I also just like rum. So this is a very solid one for me.
Nice. While you're cracking that, I am drinking a barrel-aged barley wine, also from town, called Varsity. It is barrel-aged in bourbon barrels. I believe it is Old Forester bourbon barrels. And she's a sturdy birdie, so I am looking forward to it. What are your first sips tasting like, bud?
Well, I've had this one before, as you know, but it's very smooth for a barrel-aged imperial ale. You would expect it to like smack you in the face on your first sip, but it's just real smooth. It's not overly sweet. So I think it's a real... So it's almost, you know what? I would say it's a crusher. It's a 10.3% crusher.
Hot take coming from Jack today.
Yeah.
10.3% crusher. I would love to have that. That sounds like Tombstone level of... Like, I would love my Tombstone to say 10.3% crusher. That's how I want to be known.
I'm 10.3% crusher. But yeah, it's solid, it's clean, it's not like just syrupy like you get with a lot of this barrel-aged imperial stuff. So it's solid. It's
right.
Real good.
Nice. And I think if I remember correctly, because I've had that in the past as well, I think those are Muddy River rum barrels they used, and they're also out of Charlotte.
Yes, I think they are, from what I remember.
Yeah, they're kind of one of the bigger distilleries around here. There's just not too many distilleries in Charlotte in general, it seems like. Or North Carolina because of the crazy-ass liquor laws here.
Yeah.
At least comparative to how it was back home in Wisconsin. Have I mentioned I'm from Wisconsin? Listener, if you're just tuning in now,
Greg.
I'm from Wisconsin. Greg. Okay, yes. Old Greg. Well, not old Greg. He drinks Baileys from a shoe. He doesn't need to listen to the beer review podcast. But, yes, my beer, tasting great. It's sturdy. You get a lot of the bourbon on the nose and the whole way through, but it's not unwelcome. It's still really smooth.
Yeah.
And I mean, I just I love barrel-aged beers. They're dope.
Man, and we're starting to get into colder weather, so
yeah.
I'm going to be drinking so much barrel-aged shit.
Yeah, it's soup season, it's barrel-aged season.
Hell yeah, it is.
It's spoiler season still, technically.
It's technically still spoiler season. It's always spoiler season now.
It is always spoiler season now. Is that a good thing? I don't think so. It's spoiler season in the sense that fucking Wizards is spoiled because they can just keep printing stuff or we're just going to keep buying it. They're like, what else do these nerds like? Warhammer? All right, I guess we'll do that.
Yeah. Pretty much.
But before we get to that, we should move into the Untapped step. So, Jack, do you have any Untapped reviews to read?
Oh, I have some dumb ones. And you know you're going to always have some real dumb ones on the barrel-aged stuff. People don't understand them. So here's one from Josh G. He had it at Town Brewing Company on draft, I assume. And he said, "Booze bomb. I like high octane brews, but this just isn't my style." And he gave it 2.5.
Oh, nice.
Listen, Josh. No one cares. Shut the fuck up. If you didn't like it, just say, "Oh, no, I didn't really like that much," and move on with your life. Like, I'm gonna rate this low because I don't like this. He said this isn't. I like high octane brews, but this isn't my style. I don't think you do like high octane brews, Josh.
Yeah, no, he just didn't want to be embarrassed. He's like, "Oh, I can drink a lot. I have a really high tolerance, but I don't think people should be drinking it." It's like he just was trying to save face. Yeah,
Josh. Drinking 6 White Claws in a row is not the same as drinking a high-gravity barrel-aged beer.
Yes.
Fuck
correct. You got any other ones?
I do. This is actually a very generous review from Eric C. He says, "Smooth with nice rum," misspelled, and orange pith notes, faintly syrupy and just sweet enough, very solid, 4.3. Which he wrote in the review. He wrote 4.3. So
you know why?
Why?
Because you can pay. There are levels to untap, so you can pay to unlock more fine-tuning for the rating system.
Yeah. So
instead of doing that, people will write their bullshit tweaked score because they're like, "Oh, I can't."
Well, it's not a 4.25, but it's not a 4.5. I don't think it's that good. 4.3. What's the difference? What difference does 0.2 make, Eric?
Yeah, every 0.5 you add is not 0.5 off the end of your dick. Like, you don't have to be sparing with it.
Yeah, that's good because I don't have a lot to spare.
Yeah, it's just so weird.
And then I do have one more. And this is from our favorite, Lisa, with 2 E's. You know her. You don't love her. And she just says, "Whoa," and gave it 0.75 stars. So
I appreciate her honesty.
Yeah, it's very descriptive. It's, a very well thought out review, and I appreciate all the points that she made in there.
Yeah.
That's all I've got.
For me, let's see. I got 3 for you. They're pretty complimentary. Oh, am I burping already? No.
It's time.
That's usually if we get to the 30-minute mark and the burps start rolling out. But, all right. First one we got from Michelle H. Checked in at the brewery. She gave it 4.25 stars. She just says, "Boy, howdy, that is all." And that's really all I have to say about this beer as well. You just take a sip, and that's kind of what rolls out of your mouth. You're like, it's a good beer.
Yeah.
Pretty good. Yeah. We have one from John Yu from Town Brewing. He got this in a flight. I will talk more about flights in just a second here. But John Yu at Town, 4.25 stars. He just says, "Moving to Charlotte."
Good for you.
Cheers to that. Yeah. I would love to know where he's coming from, because Charlotte is weird. If you've never been to Charlotte, it's kind of weird to walk into because I knew nothing about it. I knew the Tar Heels were from North Carolina, and that's all I knew about Charlotte and the Panthers.
The Tar Heels aren't even in Charlotte.
No, I just said they're in North Carolina. That's it. I was like, Charlotte's in North Carolina, and the Tar Heels are there as well. And that's that and the Panthers, and that's all I knew about this place. And then I came here and I was like, oh my God, there's beer everywhere. It's insane. It's all over the place. So it's kind of startling. And didn't realize the mountains were close. Didn't realize the oceans were close because I know nothing about geography. I knew where Lake Michigan was, and that's the only reason I knew like compass directions, because I knew the closer to the lake was east. If you're going towards the lake, it's east. and the sunrise and shit. But yeah, I'm lost here all the time. I have no idea where anything is. I don't even know where I live. I don't know my name. Who am I? And then my last review is from Barry J. This is at home. He says, so smooth, seems like it was aged for years. 4.5 stars. That's pretty good, pretty complimentary. Yeah. I just don't really like the phrasing on that. It seems like something someone creepy would say. Out of context. Oh. Like, you can't just walk up and say that about anything, If I ate McDonald's earlier today, if I took a bite of a burger and said so smooth, seems like it was aged for years, they would be like, sir, you need to leave.
Please, we're calling the police.
Yeah, I don't know what for, but I didn't like how you said that.
I like that guy's name, though. He sounds like an R&B singer.
Barry J?
Yeah.
Yeah, or a flavor of Gatorade.
Barry J.
Barry J. Blige.
I have nothing to say to that.
No, that's like that would be Rap Snacks. What are those? Yeah, those Rap Snacks. They're branding to drinks, and then they make Barry J. Blige. Actually, we need to cut this. That's money.
Cut it.
Copyright! That's all I have for the untapped step for now, and it's probably going to be a minute before I crack something else open.
Yeah.
And we said we're doing barrel-aged beers. I don't know. I don't have another one because this bottle is enormous. Mm-hmm. And if I get through this, I probably don't need to hurt myself with another barrel-aged beer.
Yeah, I have one other beer, and it is not barrel-aged. It is a very light beer because I don't want to die.
Yeah, we'll see if we make it through this. Which is, I feel like the barrel age is good prep for this bitch fest that we're about to have over these Warhammer.
Loosen it up. Hold on, let me take another sip.
Hey, cheers! Hold on, let me get the ready. 1, 2, 3. Oh fuck! I flicked my glass and it was totally full and it spilled all over me.
Nice.
So. Barrel aged. Yeah, we can probably go into the main phase then, huh? It is Warhammer 40K. Yeah, the bitch fest. All
right.
Do you know anything about Warhammer?
I know a little bit about Warhammer. I know it's metal as fuck. I know that the fan base has a lot of Nazis in it.
That's not funny. It's just like the two things you know about it are startling.
Those are the two things that I know. Yeah, so 40K is I'm sure our listener knows, but it's set 40,000 years into the future. It's all spacey and shit. And it is pretty fucking metal, I will say that. That's about all I know. I hate this.
Do you hate that it's Warhammer, or do you hate that this is happening?
I hate that this is happening. Warhammer is fine. They can have their nerd shit. We'll have our nerd shit. And it's not even necessarily that, like, the nerd shit is combining here. Because, like, there are the secret layers that have, Street Fighter. Like, they had that recently. And I'm actually fine with that, because it's just, like, a few cards. And they're just, like, we will get magic-flavored versions of those cards. This shit, I have a problem with. Yeah.
It really just feels like Wizards backlogged a Warhammer card game that they could never get going. And please stop me now if Warhammer is a card game, because from my understanding, there isn't a Warhammer card game, but I could be wrong.
It's not, but I don't know if there is a spin-off or something.
Right. But even like down to the art, it doesn't feel like magic at all. It looks like a separate thing that they just slapped magic borders on and gave it, magic abilities, but it just doesn't, it feels so disjointed and out of place because Forgotten Realms was really smooth. I think that fit in perfectly. It was great. Um, this just feels weird and different, and it's weird to have this kind of steampunky future thing on the tail end of Kamigawa, because like Neon
Yeah.
Dynasty was just a way cooler version of this
Yeah.
to me.
Yeah, it really,
um,
and people had a lot of probably the same complaints that we have about this, but they had them about Neon Dynasty, and I think Neon Dynasty is fucking cool as shit. So,
yeah,
I mean, obviously, like there are some people that are going to be excited about this, and that's whatever. You can be excited about whatever you want. But like, I don't feel like you said, I don't feel like this is magic. It's like something else with a magic coat of paint.
yeah, yeah. It feels very sellouty, which I hate saying because
Get that
I
money?
tried. Yeah, right. Like that's the whole fucking point. But
Yeah.
they don't. It's really just showing how much or how little thought they're kind of putting into stuff, and they're just printing things to print them.
Yeah.
I think I would have liked this more if we didn't just get double masters and then no time to breathe
Mm-hmm.
right into Dominaria United. And Dominaria, like, it's disappointing because Dominaria United is a bomb set. And
Yeah.
obviously, like, these are commander decks, so not every single card in Dominaria is made for commander, but they have Dominaria United commander decks. So why do we need this?
Yeah. And I don't know if these are going to be printed in. Had to burp. I don't know if these are going to be printed with like in the Magic universe, like they did with some of the Secret Lair stuff.
Right.
But if they are, then like, how are they going to do that? Like, there's so much. Most of these cards are brand new. They're not like reskins of cards that already exist. I mean, there's like Soul Ring and Command Tower and stuff, but
Right.
they don't. They're all brand new.
Yeah, with new abilities and yeah, I just
And I think
I don't.
that it partly comes down to fatigue. You know, we've been talking about this for a while, and we see that other people talking about this, where it's like we're getting so much new stuff, and we made the joke that it's always spoiler season, but like
Yeah.
it's not really a joke. Like there's always something right around the corner, and that seems like it should be exciting, but it's not. It's just tiring.
Yeah, it's almost stressful because I love this game, but I'm not a millionaire. I don't.
Yeah.
I love this game, and I don't want to feel like I'm missing out on something. And I hate saying FOMO, but like, there you really do. Every time a new set's printed off, it's like, wow. If I really want to be a part of the community, and like we do this podcast, if we really want to stay up to it, part of that involves looking at the new set and usually buying it because that's really how you learn
Yeah.
what's in a set is buying packs, looking at what's in it if you're not going to take the time to look it up online. And you want to play with your friends, you want to check out the new shit, and it's just hard to do when every time I turn around there's more.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know if there's any way they could have done this nice, where I would feel okay with it.
Yeah, I think no. Yeah, really no.
Because it can't be a full set. Like it can't be, we've now 2 years in a row gotten a D&D set, which one was standard legal, and I personally think that the second one should have been focused on standard legal too, but that's a whole other conversation.
Right.
So like, it can't be a full set because it's not Magic, and so I guess they settled for it being Commander decks, but then Commander's an eternal format. We have to live with these cards forever now. Like,
right.
That's in the format.
Yeah, and I think the dream scenario for this, if they really wanted it to work, was give me a full Commander set. It doesn't have to be Warhammer themed, but just make these the Commander decks then.
Yeah.
And coordinate it so there's at least some overlap in abilities. You know what I mean? So it's like, at least it ties into something. This is just tossed in there. Oh, we made this, by the way.
Yeah.
It fell off the back of a truck, and we're going to mark it up and sell it. I am looking at this.
That's sorry.
You're good. You go.
That's a really good point, I think. If this had been a Commander set and then it had extra Warhammer decks that were reskins of the cards in that set, I think that would have been great.
Mm-hmm.
Because we have the Magic cards, these are just reskins. That's fine.
Yep, and then you could even just make the commander for the deck unique, and then make your pseudo commander, like the backup, unique, and then you just have a bunch of reskins of the set that are Warhammer themed. So you're still getting a couple unique cards in there, but yeah, this just seems totally unnecessary. I was just gonna say the Skull Clamp reprint in here does look pretty fucking sick. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. So there are quite a few cards in here that are reprints of existing Magic cards. So I guess that's good. And some of them do look pretty good. Skull Clamp is pretty fucking metal. But overall, I don't really like the art that much.
I don't like the art. I'm also upset by some of these cards because I don't like the art, but because of their abilities, I have a feeling that they're gonna be around now because they are legal in Commander and Vintage and Legacy, I think is what we just looked at, right?
Yeah.
So, like, we're gonna be seeing them, and I don't want to see them just because the art, dude. It sucks.
Yeah. It's like, honestly, mostly boring. It's like a fucking Space Marine standing, or like maybe he's shooting, but it doesn't really show you anything other than that.
Right.
It's just a bunch of dudes standing around.
It's very much, this is for someone, and if I had to take a guess, the someone this is for is somebody who plays Magic and really likes playing white weenies, or like, oh, I have a soldier deck, and you're like, that's cool, you know, I'm glad you did it, little guy, that sounds fun, but okay, I want to see the weirdest shit possible. That's part of the appeal for Magic for me.
Yeah.
Give me the vanilla 1/3 for 3 Nightmare Pangolin or whatever. Like, that's what I want to see. I don't want to see Lieutenant Dan on a card, and that's, you know. Yeah. Although, actually.
Wait, so roll that back. Actually, hold on.
Give me Lieutenant Dan. Yeah. He has he can't have haste. Because he has no legs.
Oh my god. Yeah. So one thing, there are 160 original cards and 137 reprints. So, going back to what I said before, the majority of the things are brand new. And I think that this should have been a commander set with decks that are reskins. I think that should have been the, like, hey, here's a fun thing that we also did, you know. This is like, here, take this shit, deal with it, bitch.
It almost seems like they had a surplus of money. They made it, and they're like, yeah, people buy it, they buy it. And they're waiting for people to buy the decks so they can break it apart and sell the singles.
Yeah.
So, and people are always going to do that, right? Like, that's how it gets circulated with these commander decks is people will buy a deck for 3 cards that are in the deck.
Yep.
And that's, look at Dockside. Extortion is.
Yeah.
And then, there's that other really, really expensive, there's like a red or a blue spell. I'll have to look it up later, but it was in that set where if your commander was on the field, the spells would cost nothing, and it was like ridiculous. It was like a counter spell where it cost nothing if your commander's on the field. But looking at the list here, there are definitely going to be cards that we're going to see around. I'm specifically thinking of biotransference. I think I said that to you earlier, but
yeah.
For the one listener, biotransference is 2 black and a black for an enchantment. Creatures you control are artifacts in addition to their other types. The same is true for creature spells you control and creature cards you own that aren't on the battlefield. Whenever you cast an artifact spell, you lose 1 life and create a 2/2 black Necron warrior artifact creature token. So that is like a cheaper, less efficient, granted, but cheaper Mycosynth, which we talked about in the last episode. And specifically in Send Triplets, which we talked about in the last episode once I realized what I was trying to talk about. I mean, those kind of decks, it's going to be really good, and especially with with Karn being printed and the new Karn in Dominaria United, with him popping off those Power Stones, which I can almost guarantee you is going to be a thing now. Like, I have a feeling Power Stones are going to be a thing.
Yeah.
That you can tap it and it only goes towards artifact spells. So now all your creatures are artifacts. And Karn is colorless, so you can throw them in any deck if you want to. And I think that's going to be a thing, which is a shame because biotransference, I just really hate the art on that card.
It's not great.
It's almost like, and we made a joke about this in the first episode. If you want to listen to it, you can. It looks like borderline that weird 3D kind of dumpy ass art that they would print Pokemon cards in every once in a while when Pokemon first started.
Yeah.
Or it almost looks like a Spawn ripoff. Like, that's what this card looks like. And that's just not Magic to me.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to shit on the artist. I'm sure they had stipulations, and it could just be the Warhammer art that I'm not really into. But it just doesn't feel like Magic.
Yeah, and well, shut up, because we're gonna have to deal with it now forever, because I mean, besides this stuff getting printed, there's gonna be other Universes Beyond stuff. There's gonna be a fucking Doctor Who decks. So, like, this is it. This is Magic now.
That's not confirmed, is it?
It is.
You were just saying.
Yeah, that's.
Are you? Oh my god! I wish I hadn't found this out when we were recording because I need to go cry.
Yeah, that's the thing.
If I'm playing someone and they tap 4 to play the sonic screwdriver, I'm
just leaving the table.
Scoop. Yeah. And not because it's good, I'm just gonna leave. Like that. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh. Not. Oh man. Although there is a card in the set called Pink Horror, which is fun.
That's the bright side.
I'm not even gonna tell you what it does or what it is. It's just called Pink Horror, and that's great. That's how I feel about Pepto-Bismol, because if you ever had it, it's great short term and long term. You just wish you could go back and deal with what was happening before. Yeah.
Oh my god, there's a card called Karn. With an H.
Are you kidding? Okay, what does Karn do?
Karn. Wait, hold on, let me post this. The fuck?
We're probably pronouncing it wrong. It's probably like Kaharn or the case.
Karn. Who fucking cares? Listen, Charles, listener, if you play Warhammer and you get mad at us for pronunciation or talking shit on Warhammer, fuck you. I don't care.
Yeah, this is a Magic and Beer Review podcast, not a fucking Warhammer podcast.
Go somewhere else.
Yeah, go to Warhammer on Tap. That's our second podcast.
Do I have to read this?
You have to read Karn.
Karn, the Betrayer. He is red and 3. He costs a red and 3. He's a legendary creature, Astartes Berserker. So now we have to fucking deal with that, like, new stupid creature types. He's a 5/1. Oh my god. Okay, so this is another thing I forgot about, and now I am triggered again. They have fucking Oracle, like, what is it? The ability names?
Oh, yeah.
But they don't mean anything. It's just... It just says what it does. So it's Berserker hyphen Karn the Betrayer attacks or blocks each combat if able. Just say he attacks or blocks each combat if able. Berserker doesn't fucking mean anything. Sigil of Corruption. Fuck you. When you lose control of this thing, draw 2 cards. And then the last one I'm not even going to read. If damage would be dealt to Karn the Betrayer, prevent that damage and an opponent of your choice gains control of it.
So... it is basically breaking down his name and his creature type. It's like, yeah, I read the card. Yeah. He's a berserker. Mm-hmm. You don't have to tell, like, okay, he's
Betrayer.
A berserker.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, Thanks.
Yeah, cool. That's, it's like somebody new to Magic made a set and they just missed the nuance that goes into naming cards and... creature types and this kind of stuff. It just feels...
Oh, wait.
Weird.
That's a good point. Okay, Google, who the fuck designed the Warhammer Magic decks? My phone's off. I'm not actually.
Okay.
I'm Googling it myself.
One listener, this episode's very freeform today. We have like 0 outline. Which, if you go back and listen to the other 2, you're like, they have an outline for this?
They actually planned
We do. Yeah, we do.
Sort of.
There's moving parts to this. We don't know how they move, but we know it keeps going. Yeah, and that's all that matters.
And we can't stop. All I know is something.
Stop at all.
All I know is something bad will happen if we stop.
All I know is that this bottle is actually going away much faster than I thought it was.
The more you drink, the faster you drink it.
That's... Wow, yep. That is true. I'm going ghost over here.
I'm like, did the Warhammer team design these decks? I'm trying to find that out. Like... They said, hey, we want to design the decks, and Wizards was like, yeah, we don't fucking care about our players anyway, so have at it.
Yeah. Listener, in the future, we will be doing this research ahead of time, so we can tell you, and you don't have to listen to us figure it out on the episode.
I wouldn't make any promises we can't keep, but...
we can try. I would say that every episode it seems like we're doing something different because we learned what we did wrong the last episode.
Yeah.
Instead of doing
That's
it
fair.
in a constructive manner where you don't have to listen to it happen, you're on this journey with us.
Yeah,
So
you are the guinea
please,
pig.
yeah. On that note as well, the untapped step that we did earlier,
Is there another one?
where we read untapped reviews, and I'm about to finish my next beer.
Wow.
My next beer. I'm about to finish this bottle, so I'm probably gonna hop into my new bottle and just double fist a little bit.
All right. Yeah, I'll do the
'Cause-
same.
Dude, in honor of Wizards of the Coast double fisting on set releases, I will also be double fisting. A tie-in! He tied it in! It's like it was planned.
Yeah, whoa.
Yeah, whoa. So we're drinking a Great Lakes Brewing Company beer, which I love.
Mhm.
I haven't had a single bad thing from Great Lakes that I can think of. We're drinking Conway's Irish Ale. And yeah, I'm super excited. I love Irish ales.
Mhm.
I love Irish stouts. I love red ales. I'm typically a dark beer drinker in general. So
Yeah.
very excited about this. Also super excited and very irritated that I haven't had a chance to go get it yet, but it is Nosferatu season. We are officially in spooky season, and every single year Great Lakes puts out one of my favorite beers of all time. That is by no means an exaggeration. It is legitimately one of my favorite beers. It's consistently good. It is a Jesus Christ. It's an Imperial. Sorry, I always, listeners and Jack, I always bring bottles into the room where I'm recording. I never bring a bottle opener. So I know I'm gonna drink this beer. So you're like, why wouldn't you do that? Because I don't know. All right, I just get excited and then I forget. So what you can hear as I'm talking, it's literally me monologuing about a beer because I'm trying to frantically look for something to open the bottle with. And today we used the lid of a metal trash can. And in doing so, the cat flew off across the room, and I poured more beer on myself. So I'm going to walk out of this room, and my wife's going to be like, what the fuck happened?
You don't want to know.
You smell like a bar mat. How did this happen? Yeah. Anyway, Nosferatu, Imperial Red IPA. The can art is stupendous. It's pretty. I would get a portrait of that and put it in my house. It's literally just the original Nosferatu from the film, but it's like red and black and white color scheme.
Yeah, it's
very
like posterized.
Cool. Yeah, very, very cool. Very good beer. I love red IPAs because they're great. I love caramel hops in IPAs. I'm very much in my IPA. I want a West Coast, and I want like a really traditional, early craft brew scene West Coast with a lot of caramel malt in it. I love that taste. That Hawaiian Brewing Company that I can't Kona
Yeah.
does an island IPA that is fantastic and super consistent. You can get Kona anywhere.
Yep.
It's pretty much like a domestic kind of craft thing. Wicked Weed is out here. I don't know.
Does that count?
Does Wicked Weed count? I would call Wicked Weed a domestic craft brewery.
Yeah, because they got bought by AB InBev.
Yeah, right. I don't know who owns Kona, but the fact that I can get it absolutely anywhere would imply that they have
I guess it would.
a big boy distributor. Not saying there's anything wrong with that at all, because they make really solid beers. If you've never had a Kona beer, just buy one of their sampler packs. They usually put them out in the summer, year round, I think even. And I haven't had a bad beer from them at all. And the bottles are cool because they're not like standard size bottles. They're a little smaller. It's kind of like a Red Stripe bottle is wonky, but they're fun. I love that place. But caramel malted IPAs, I'm a huge fan. If you're not a fan of IPAs, I would recommend that you try the Kona Island IPA because it's a little bit different. It's probably not what you're used to. It's not as hoppy or bitter. And they do an island lager as well that's really solid.
Yeah.
But, yeah. First sip of this Conway's Irish Ale, yeah, it's a banger. Guaranteed.
Yeah, I like Great Lakes. They're definitely solid.
Yep. I would love to go do a tour of that place sometime. I might be doing it in the future. My wife
possibly next year.
Yeah. Yep. Sometime in the spring. My wife does world-class color guard, and if you don't know what color guard is, it's always hard to explain. It's like a combination of dance, and if you ever seen Cadet Kelly with the rifles, they do the rifle throwing, they do sabers, which are just like blunted swords, and flags. So if you ever what?
You said if you've ever seen Cadet Kelly.
Yeah! Everyone knows what Cadet Kelly is! It's Hillary Duff's best work!
Well, I'm not arguing that, but...
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes, of course I know.
Alright, don't come at me about fucking Cadet Kelly then. Dude, you know how many times I've seen Cadet Kelly? I'm rolling up my sleeve right now, you can't see it. It's a picture of Hillary Duff bursting through my skin with a rifle. It's a Cadet Kelly tattoo.
Yeah, that's true. He does have that.
And it's not where you would expect. But yeah, if you've ever been to like a high school football game and the halftime show with the marching band, there's usually a color guard team out there on the field. She does winter guard, so it's not the band, it's just specifically color guard. Mm-hmm. But for my Untapped Step, which listener, Untapped Step is just us reading Untapped reviews about the beer we're drinking, because Untapped is a pretty cool platform, but it's constantly
it's
misused.
a cesspool.
And yeah, people just don't put anything useful a lot of time for the reviews. You're not really getting any information. It's just people go there and they want to be heard because everyone wants to be heard now, which is why we started a podcast. And yeah, there's just a lot of weird stuff. So not every review we read is bad. It's mostly just something we thought was funny. So for example, Sean C, he's doing Untapped at Home about this Conway's Irish Ale. He gave it a 3.5. He said, light and good, nothing unusual, which is nice sometimes. And I can't see anything wrong with that, but it seems weird.
I mean, it's a little weird the way that he worded it, but you know,
yeah,
I kind of agree with that.
Yeah. We also have Chris R. from checking this in from Mosquito Lake State Park Campground. That's a lot of words. And he didn't give it a verbal review. He gave it 3.5 stars. I'm commenting on it because he felt the need to tell us that he purchased it at Walmart grocery pickup and delivery.
Oh, well, thanks. Now I know where to get it.
Yeah. Ooh, cool. Walmart sells beer? Who knew? And that's all I have for these two.
Yeah, well, let me tell you about mine. So,
yeah.
I have, because I'm a shill, another Town Brewing beer. I have Lemur Leap, which is one that just came out a couple weeks ago. So there's actually not really a review to read here. There are only 5 total, and none of them are really 7 total. None of them are really funny. But I thought that I grabbed Rat House, so I'm going to read the Rat House review.
What is Rat House?
Rat House is a fest beer, so it's a Märzen style lager, which we drank a lot of last episode, actually.
Oh yeah.
And so it's kind of it's like an Oktoberfest. And I may be biased, but I think it is one of the best that I've ever had. Charles H. disagrees. He says, Americans messing about with German staples, stop it. Period. Flowery and terrible. 2.25. So, I mean, I'm commenting on this to call this dude an asshole, but also, like, y'all, I've been to Germany. I've had the Märzens on tap. This is, I think, to my memory, as close as it gets. There's absolutely nothing wrong with Rat House. It is so good. And, I mean, if you're going to get a Märzen-style lager in Charlotte, at least, it's the way to go. But also, fucking, what the fuck, dude? Like, beer is like what brings people together, and you're trying to like gatekeep and just be a dickhead. So Charles H, fuck you. Eat dicks.
Yeah, fuck you. Even though I guess if you really thought about it, we kind of gatekeep for talking so much shit about people, but also I'm gonna talk shit about the gatekeepers.
Yeah,
we're gonna gatekeep
fuck
the
you.
gatekeepers.
Yeah.
Bully the bully.
Yeah.
That's how we get ahead.
I love bullying people.
Do you have anything else to say about this Warhammer set? Because I have something I'm excited to say about another Wizards of the Coast money-making ploy.
I don't have anything else to say, no.
No. They have another secret layer drop coming up, or like a
new secret layer alert.
Yeah, and these art versions of Magic cards I'm super into. Have you seen these?
Yeah, the Nils Ham ones.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is very rarely do I actually want to purchase secret layer drops because, okay, that's a lie. Every secret layer I buy, I just can't fathom a world where I'm going to spend $40 on 4 fucking lands.
Yeah.
Just because I think they look cool. The secret layer dumps are the most egregious.
They are, yeah.
Money grabs ever. I truly try to ignore them. And it's just like a lot of the time the cards aren't even good too. So the Street Fighter cards weren't very good. The Stranger Things cards weren't very good at all. And then those got like redacted and added into Magic. Because what was that? A couple sets ago, you had a chance if you bought standard
that was
packs.
New Capenna.
New Capenna, yeah. If you bought standard packs, you could get a chance at getting one of the reskins of the Stranger Things cards. And I pulled one. I pulled 2, and I was pissed off about it because I just didn't care. I knew what they were. I didn't want them at all.
Yeah, the only one is the black one. I think from the Stranger Things. I don't even remember what it's called.
Yeah, it was like the Mind Flayer in the Stranger Things version, but I'll pull it up real quick. But yeah, I'm all about combining nerd stuff because, yeah, you know, we all like the same shit, whatever. But sometimes it's like, if you're going to make it, at least make it good. Make me want to buy it. Don't make me want to buy it just because it happens to have the thing from the TV that I like.
Yeah. Like, the perfect example is when they did the Godzilla crossover with Ikoria, where they had the Godzilla cards that were like reskinned versions of some of the Ikoria cards. That was fucking awesome, and that was a secret lair. So like, I really liked those, but yeah. Then they went and did the fucking Stranger Things one, and they were like, yeah, it's just Stranger Things. Like, fuck off with that shit.
Yeah, no, the Godzilla ones were awesome, and they were strong cards, and it made a lot of sense. And I think a lot of it too is the design. I think a lot of the Stranger Things stuff, like, I am a watcher of the show. I know you don't really care about it, but I don't need to see just regular human kids on a card. You know what I mean? That's not why I play Magic. I want to see a dinosaur, cat, dragon, weird monster thing.
Yeah.
And that's what Godzilla is a weird ass. It's like, dude, yeah, I got radiation and I shoot laser beams out of my mouth. Isn't that cool?
You know,
like, yeah, that is undeniably cool.
Yeah, that's fucking badass. And you know what? That also, like, the art on those cards was great. Because we talked about the art on the Warhammer ones fucking sucking. Yeah, fuck, Jesus Christ. The Godzilla ones were badass. Like, Godzilla hyper beaming a building, or like fucking trampling shit. Like, that's awesome.
Right. You know, I would have been more excited for a Gears of War Magic crossover, because Warhammer has always felt like nerdier Gears of War somehow. They almost seem like they're in the same universe, but Gears of War has dudes with backwards hats. Give me that. Give me like Marcus like putting a cigarette out on someone from Warhammer in the card art.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Give me at least that's cool. Or do a Doom Magic crossover.
Oh yeah.
Actually, we need to cut this as well.
cut this one.
All the demon power, you could have like a demon tribal. Oh man. Yeah, we're cutting that right out. And it's just Doom Guy. He doesn't even have a name. It's just like Doom Guy. Oh god. I'm writing this right now.
I just creamed a little
real
bit.
Quick. The redacted, flipped, reskin version of Mind Flayer is Arvinox the Mind Flail.
Oh,
so
right.
They just phoned that one in. He's not a flayer, he's the flail. He's a flail. It's just like a fish out of water flopping on a dock. It's a brain out of a jar flopping on a dock. Although, okay, brain in a jar is a real card.
That is
probably one of my favorite. It's literally just called brain in a jar. And I don't even need to know what it does. Give me that. That's what I like about Magic.
Yeah, true.
Cool. Well, that's all I have to say about all that. I guess we can get into the next part. Hey, Jack.
Yeah?
What you brewing?
That was the longest fucking pause.
I know. I paused for multiple laughs. Because we're 3 episodes in now, baby.
Yeah,
people
we're
should
gonna
know
have
what's
so
happening.
many laughs.
They're waiting for it. They're like sitting on the edge of their seats.
Yeah.
Listener.
Listener is sitting on the edge of their seat.
Me in the car on the way to work, listening to this on Spotify to get our ratings up.
Yeah.
What are you making, though?
I am brewing a minion deck. So all of the creatures have the creature type minion. The commander is Chainer, Nightmare Adept. So I'll just read him out real quick. He costs 1 red, 1 black, and 2 for a legendary creature human minion. He's a 3/2. He has discard a card. You may cast a creature spell from your graveyard this turn. Activate only once per turn. And whenever a non-token creature enters the battlefield under your control, if you didn't cast it from your hand, it gains haste until your next turn. So, he's pretty good. But I really only picked him because he's a minion with 2 colors. So yeah, so everything is a minion, including I have a Phage the Untouchable in the 99. I have my commander from my mono black deck, Crick, Son of Yawgmoth. That just makes everything Phyrexian mana.
Is Zancha's Sleeper Agent isn't a minion, is she? I thought she was.
Yeah, she is.
She's like $20, isn't she?
She's 10. But yeah, she's real good. I'll read her out too. So, Zancha, Sleeper Agent, 1 red, 1 black, and 1 for a minion. She's a 5/5. As Zancha's Sleeper Agent enters the battlefield, an opponent of your choice gains control of it. Zancha attacks each combat if able and can't attack its owner or planeswalkers its owner controls. And pay 3, Zancha's controller loses 2 life, and you draw a card. Any player may activate this ability, which is, I love that. And Zancha's actually another one probably going into my Blim Comedic Genius deck, which I have yet to build, actually.
Zancha's a real problem. As soon as it hits the table, you really just got to get rid of it. There's really... as fun as it is to have Zancha be on someone else's battlefield, you know it's coming to you eventually.
Yeah.
And it just can't stay around. It's almost like it should just be a house rule. If it hits table, if you can deal with it, you just have to deal with it. We don't really do a whole lot of politicking in our play group.
No, we don't.
We kind of started a little bit, but not really. It's just everyone has their own agenda and shoots for it and dies when they die. Yeah. Which sounds way cooler than it is.
I mean, we kind of... I think it speeds the game up a little bit, too. Because we all, I think, want to play multiple decks. We want to get more games in. Yep. So I think that kind of speeds it up. But, yeah. I mean, I've just got... In this deck, I've got mostly... Well, I've got a bunch of minions. And then I have... Balthor the Defiled, which is a minion lord. He's 2 black and 2, and all minions get +1/+1. That's all I care about. He has other abilities, but I don't care about them.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I mean, I've got, just other stuff to help with that. Cover of Darkness, cost of black and 1. It's an enchantment that says, when it comes into play, choose a creature type. Creatures of the chosen type have fear, so give all my minions fear. But that's it. It's just a minion. It's Trash Tribal.
Trash Tribal is how I live, baby! So this is... Just hearing the word minion so many times.
Oh, and the name of the deck is Despicable Me.
It has to be, yeah. That's like what I'm coming into, is that I would love... Yeah. I would love if Wizards was just a little more self-aware. And Wizards, if you're listening to this, I'm speaking to the man that's reprinting Root Wallas. That's the person, sorry. The person reprinting Root Wallas.
Printing new Root Wallas.
Yeah, printing new Root Wallas, printing new Viashinos, new turtles, new frogs. Yeah. This is for you. Please release your normal commander decks, and then just in the midst of the normal commander decks, just give us like a trash tribal commander. Just reprint a bunch of shitty creatures and make one of the commanders, a trash tribal commander. And if you want to be fancy, like, they could easily make a minion-themed commander deck and make a Gru commander.
Oh my god.
Because somebody would fucking buy it.
I would buy it.
you reskin the existing minions, add a couple more, and then you just like you have dope spells that have minions in them. Like, give me a Swords the Plowshare, but with minions.
God.
That card. I don't even like those movies. I would buy that deck just because it exists, and then you can make.
This is the Universes Beyond shit that we want. We don't care about fucking Warhammer. We want minions trash tribal.
Yes! Yeah! Oh, that would be fantastic! Give me a Colossification reprint with a minion on it that's like enormous. And it's just like all the flavor texts are in their weird minion language. Everyone just says banana on it or whatever. Yeah.
Oh my god. Yes.
The Colossification is just that meme of the really buff minion. Where's that? That's what I want. Just give me a bunch of...
Fucking wizards will not give the people what they want.
Trash tribal! The people want trash tribal.
Well, that's all I've got. So, hey, Xavier. What's your brewing?
I am brewing a deck that I have been trying to figure out how I'm going to make it work since the moment I saw this card. It is a Cody Vociferous Codex. Cody Vociferous Codex. It is from Strixhaven. It literally looks like the book from Hocus Pocus.
Yeah.
Spindly ass legs. Book! Like, yeah. Cody, 3 for a 1/4. That's pretty good. It's okay. Says you can't cast permanents. Sorry, legendary artifact creature construct. You can't cast permanent spells. Ugh. Its ability. Pay for, tap it to add Wooburg. So 1 white, 1 blue, 1 black, 1 red, 1 green. When you cast your next spell this turn, exile cards from the top of your library until you exile an instant or sorcery card with lesser mana value. Until end of turn, you may cast that card without paying its mana cost. Put each other card exiled this way on the bottom of your library in a random order. The idea is you cast something a little higher cost. The Wooburg that you get, you pay 4, you get 5. So you net 1 on that.
Mm-hmm.
Can go towards that mana cost, and then you get another free spell, right? So, how do you make this work in a way that makes sense? To me, the only way that this is going to work is if all your spells but 1 spell are the same mana cost. That's the only way that this can work. You're like, how do I do the thing I want to do, right? So, I looked at, and when I say I looked at it, I really fucking looked at it.
Yeah.
And listener, George, if you have a better idea, please let me know. The best thing I could find was all my spells have to be 7 mana, which is a lot. You're paying 4, you're getting 5, so you just need 2 mana outside of that to make it happen. So 6. And Cody says you can't cast permanent spells. If you fill your deck with mana rocks and 7-drop spells, you can hold off on casting Cody until you know you have the mana to make him do what you want to do. And then do the thing. The 7-drop spells will get my 1 6-drop spell out of my deck. That 6-drop spell is called Beacon of Immortality. It is an instant. It says double target player's life total. Shuffle Beacon of Immortality into its owner's library. And that's the important thing, because it doesn't go to the graveyard.
Mm-hmm.
right? So I cast it from exile with Cody's ability. I play my 7-drop, cast this card from exile because I have to go through my whole deck until I find something of lesser mana value. And I can't play permanent spells, so it has to be an instant or sorcery. Play Beacon of Immortality, double my life total, and then it goes right back into my deck, so I can just keep playing it.
Yeah.
And believe it or not, the 7-drop spells are just the dumbest shit
Yeah.
you can think of. They're all like board wipe, extra turn.
Yeah.
Like approach
or like mascot exhibition.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They're like win cons, board wipes. You get everything from somebody's thing. Like they're just insane. Like Plague of Vermin, 6 and 1 black. Starting with you, each player may pay any amount of life.
Yeah.
Repeat this process until no one pays life. Each player puts a 1/1 black rat creature token into play for each 1 life he or she paid. So, starting with me, assuming I've already doubled my life total, and I know I'm going to double it again. Even if this is the first spell I play, I could pay 20 life, make 20 rats, double my life total, and be back to 40, and just have 20 rats for 7.
Yeah.
Is essentially what happened. That's insanity.
Yeah, and like you said, there's like board wipes, take an extra turn. I mean, if you have Nexus of Fate, that goes back into your library. So you have Nexus of Fate to take an extra turn, goes back into your library, get it again. Yeah.
Yep, and there's to be fair to me, because when I made this list originally, there weren't as many 7-drop spells. That has changed, obviously, because once again, Wizards makes lots and lots of sense. So,
in fact, one of them is from the new Warhammer decks, Hour of Reckoning.
Let me double check, because that sounds familiar. But you could say anything is the name of a Magic card, and I would say it sounds familiar because eventually they're all going to start to sound a little bit the same.
Oh, it's actually a reprint.
Yes.
So
I was going to say that one sounded.
Yeah. Fucking egg my face. But
no, there's a lot of these cards look really. The art just looks really cool.
Yeah. Ultimatums? Like all of your ultimatums.
Oh, yeah. Yep. All the ultimatums. Let's see. Morality Shift is really fun. If you've never seen it before. Pay 5, a black and a black. Exchange your graveyard and library, then shuffle your library. Peer into Darkness for 3 black. Target player draws cards equal to half the number of cards in their library and loses half their life. Round up each time.
Yeah, Peer into the Abyss.
Yep, so I could draw half the cards in my deck and then
double your life total again.
And then double my life, so I just get to draw half my cards for 7. Which actually, I probably wouldn't do that, because if I draw Beacon of Immortality, I'm fucked.
Yeah.
That's the one downside to this deck. If I draw that, I'm probably just going to scoop.
But that's why we love jank.
Yeah, this is why we love jank. I love conditional wins. And I do have permanents in here. Outside of the fact that my commander literally says I can't play permanents, obviously he's gonna get shot. Nobody's gonna let me just keep doubling my life total.
Yeah, he probably is.
So we're running all sorts of boots.
Various boots.
Anything that is gonna make somebody not look at him. But we have. So there's. Obviously, mana is going to be an issue in this Cody deck, because I'm going to need to come up with 7 mana to get my weird, clunky combo off every time. So I loaded it up with mana rocks. I couldn't think of the word. Forgive me, I'm double fisting. I loaded up with mana rocks, but not to drag or raga draga mana dorks into this, but I'm probably gonna have a couple. I really don't want that many creatures in here. I'd love to just keep it artifacts, instants, and sorceries.
Yeah.
Because a lot of those 7-drops make creatures, or at least something that can get shot, can eat up the onslaught I am gonna face. Because if I'm doubling my life total every turn, and if I can do it multiple times a turn, people are gonna target me. So I need bodies. So mana dorks will be good for that.
Yeah.
I'll probably, and they're cheap, so if you get them in your opening hand, you can dump them out. But I'm still gonna be weird with it. I'm not gonna play. Like, this is a weird deck, so I want weird mana dorks, and one of my favorite weird mana dorks is Werebear. Werebear is a 2-drop for a 1/1. It literally just is. I think it's like a. Okay, what is it? It's a druid bear. It taps for 1 green mana, so it's like a more expensive Land War elf.
Yep.
But it has Threshold. Werebear gets +3/+3. You have Threshold as long as 7 or more cards are in your graveyard, and that's what Threshold always is. But so he has the potential to be bigger. I would pretty much be using him because he is a mana dork, and because he is a druid bear, and that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
But it would be just a couple mana dorks, and then the one other creature that is in that deck for sure is I don't know if you guys have heard of this card. It's called Progenitus.
I've not actually. Can you tell me about it?
Yeah, for those who didn't listen to our second episode, which is probably most people, Progenitus, yeah, me even. Progenitus is double Wooburg, so 2 of every color. That's a big old mana cost. It is a 10/10 Hydra Avatar with protection from everything. That does make it susceptible to board wipes still.
It does.
In episode 2. We all learned that together, right? For the first time ever. Nobody knew that.
Yeah.
Nobody knew at all. Wizards had to look it up. They weren't sure either. So you heard it here first. And if Progenitus would be put into the graveyard from anywhere, reveal Progenitus, shuffle it into its owner's library instead. So for a long time, that was the only creature I had picked out specifically because of 1 red 7-drop mana spell that got printed in the I think it's Chishiro, the Shattered Blade.
In the precon?
Yes, it was in a precon. It's called Collision of Realms. It's a 7-drop. It's 6 and 1 red mana for a sorcery. Each player double fisting. Each player shuffles all creatures they own into their library. Each player who shuffled a non-token creature into their library this way reveals cards from the top of their library until they reveal a creature card, then puts that card onto the battlefield, and the rest on the bottom of their library in a random order. So, the idea is I play this. I would have to shuffle Cody in or let it hit the command zone. I actually don't know how that would work. I think I still get the second trigger even if Cody goes into the command zone, right?
What was I don't remember what you're talking about. What is it?
Cody is just my commander, but it's a creature.
No, the other card?
Oh, the other card? It says each player shuffles all creatures they own into their library. So outside of the mana dorks, this is a scenario in which Cody's the only thing on the battlefield. My commander is the only thing on the battlefield. Yep.
You would if your commander changes zones, you would choose which zone it goes to.
Oh, but the second half of this, I have to shuffle Cody in to get the trigger. Fuck! Wow. You know, I really didn't think it was going to happen this episode, but I still managed to sneak in a part where I just didn't read the card didn't know
every time.
It's 3 for 3, baby. But so I have to sacrifice my commander by stuffing it into my deck, which would defeat the whole purpose of this. But then I would get Progenitus for free.
And that's better.
Well, and it is better because in that matchup, all other creatures get shuffled into their owner's libraries. They only get one creature. So basically, everyone gets one creature, and they have to hope it's going to be better than a Progenitus.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's probably not going to be.
Yeah.
But whatever's in their hand could be. But I'm willing to gamble on that. So I don't know if the mana dorks are going to be a thing, but I really just have to actually finish making it and play test it to see how many of those I need. So Werebear might get cut from there, but we'll find out. Omen Machine is a card I've had forever, and any chance I can get, I put it into a deck because I love this card. It makes any game of Magic bullshit immediately.
Yeah.
Omen Machine says... Okay, Omen Machine 6 for an artifact. It says players can't draw cards. At the beginning of each player's draw step, that player exiles the top card of his or her library. If it's a land card, the player puts it onto the battlefield. Otherwise, the player casts it without paying its mana cost if able. So, you draw a thing, and then it gets played. And it's like brainless magic. That's why people don't like it. Because nothing goes according to Kikaiku. Because you can't make plans.
Kikaku means plan.
Yeah. Unless your plan was to have no plan. Actually, just reading Omen Machine, that card would be really, really good in a Prosper deck.
Oh.
Because you are casting it from exile, so you just get treasure tokens.
Oh my god, you're right.
So you're already gonna have card draw. Oh, but you can't draw cards, but you can cast stuff from. So, oh my god,
oh my god,
so good.
Holy shit!
Machine is so
wow,
good.
What the
Prosper.
Fuck? Wow,
because you're just
gonna
be exiling deck from the. Yeah. Wow. Okay, you heard it here first, guys. Omen Machine is really good at Prosper. Most people don't even look at this card. I could pull it up in EDH Rec really quick and see what percentage of cards or what percentage of decks Omen Machine goes into, but I guarantee they're all going to be like Grixis or Mono Red Chaos decks. Because that's how I literally own this card, is because I had a Grixis Chaos deck.
Yep.
We've been there. Listener, if you're still with us at this point, 3 episodes in, you probably played Trash Tribal and Jank as well, so I guarantee you can relate, because you have probably played a Grixis Chaos deck or just a Mono Red Chaos deck. I wish they would have more Chaos in different colors. I understand why they don't.
Yeah.
But
I wish they would print more Chaos cards.
Yeah. Omen Machine, according to EDH Rec, 0% of 1,578,819 decks. Oh, wait. No. It's in 3,669 decks.
Nice.
That's out of 1 million decks. So, not very played.
1.5 million.
Yeah. Very good in Prosper.
Yeah, that seems like it would be good in Prosper. Unless
I
I'm
mean,
missing
6
something.
no, because you can't draw cards, and Prosper doesn't really care about drawing cards because you're just exiling cards from the top of your deck anyway.
Yeah.
So
Whenever you play a
you
card
get
from
a
exile, create a treasure.
yep, and you just play your land, so you don't. If you pull a land from the top of your deck, it goes to the battlefield. You don't get the Prosper treasure off of that, but you can stack your triggers. So if you have, I know Surveil is a big mechanic in Black. You could Surveil and kind of filter through whatever you got going on in your deck. There's red cards that let you play with the top card of your deck revealed as well. So if you can see what's coming, you can stack your triggers because I think they both hit at upkeep. You could Omen Machine first to get rid of something. You could cast a spell for free. You get the treasure off of Prosper. If the next card's a land, you can put that into exile, and then you can play the land with Prosper and get 2 treasures a turn potentially if you're hitting it spell, land every time.
Yeah.
And then if you have the other cards in your deck are letting you exile cards from the top of your library and play it until end of turn, you're just going to keep stacking up land and treasures, and you don't even really need to have a hand. It doesn't even matter. You could be hellbent and you're just going to play your deck from exile.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if you have a hand at all, because you're not going to have one after you cast everything anyway.
Yeah. So I think this What You Brewing also just developed into me making a Prosper deck. Which is pretty good. I know that's like a thing that everyone's done.
Prosper is literally rank 8 on EDH Truck.
Prosper's pretty fucking good. I guess we should read off Prosper verbatim if you got him pulled up.
Yeah, he's a red, a black, and 2 for legendary creature Tiefling Warlock. He's a 1/4 with Death Touch, and he has at the beginning of your end step exile the top card of your library until the end of your next turn. You may play that card, and whenever you play a card from exile, create a treasure token. And that's
really
also
good.
Whenever you play a card from exile. So like if you exile a land and you play that, then that would also get you a treasure.
Right. That works for him if that's what you're exiling, but Omen Machine says if it's a land, put it onto the battlefield. So you're
right, so it wouldn't work for that. Yeah.
No, but I mean, Prosper, his own ability is great. And even he's 3 or 4?
4
mana cost. I think 4, but for like a 1/4 with Death Touch isn't the end of the world.
Yeah, I mean, probably unless someone has something that's more than 4 power that they don't mind trading, they're probably not going to swing at you either.
Yeah, right. I've always been a huge fan of low attack, high defense. I think most people are, unless they're like spikes and they're super competitive and they don't really care. I've always played in a slower format, so I'm fine with having those 1/4s or I'd rather have a 2/3 than a 3/2. That's just how I am. Because the 2/3 is helping me set up for something that I'm trying to pull off down the road. The 3/2 is gonna die.
Yeah.
Pretty quickly. It might do good damage, but it's gonna die.
Yeah. I mean, I think we're both Johnnies too, so
yeah, we're definitely Johnnies. And yeah. Have we ever done we've never covered the archetypes before, have we?
No, but I mean, they're pretty ubiquitous at this point.
That's true. Yeah. If you don't know, you should just look it up because literally the man. Yeah. It's actually a really interesting thing I think in Magic is that the development team really sat down and thought about who they're making cards for at one point. And they've made these archetypes to describe, or archetypes, sorry, whatever the fuck it is, archetypes. They basically made profiles of who's playing the game. So they came up with 3. One's more competitive, one loves big splashy wins, and one likes to. They saw a crab card and they're like, I think he's cool, and made a deck, and that's believe it or not, that's kind of what we've fallen to. So
I know it's hard to believe, but
right. And for people that are here for the beer end of this, which we barely talk about it, and we just talk about Magic, but we came up with a couple different beers for the archetypes at one point, and I think we agreed Spike is probably like a hazy or a lager, like you're just trying to get the job done, don't really care what it is. I think Spike is defined as someone who sees a deck list online and makes that exact deck because they know they're going to win with it.
Yep.
So Spike is the hazy lager drinker. Doesn't care what it tastes like, just wants to get the job done. Timmy is probably more of like a barrel-aged big beer drinker because they're just
imperial stuff.
Yeah, they walk into the bar and they're like, what's the strongest thing you have? And that's what they want. They're the people that started playing Magic and because they saw a big green monster and that was their first deck, was mono green. And they were very excited about Monkey Man that got printed in And then Johnny is every year Flying Dog puts out a Old Bay flavored beer.
Yeah.
And that is Johnny. Johnny's super into that. Johnny wants the weird ass oyster.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Just the bizarre thing that got put on the menu that nobody drinks, and it's probably been tapped for way too long because nobody drinks it. But that's what he came here for.
Yep. That's us. That's literally the beer that we both would drink.
Yeah, exactly. Even if it sucks, I'm probably going to finish it. And then if I don't like it, I just won't order it again. And I'll go on to my next weird beer.
Yeah, weird beers.
Weird beers.
All right, well, should we go on to the sideboard?
Yeah, you got something today or no? You have to figure out what you're talking about.
I do have something, actually.
Whoa.
I am losing my job.
So, you what?
Yeah. So, I mean, basically, I'm contracted, so I have, like, an end date to my contract, but the person who bought my contract can extend it, and normally they do, but this time they didn't. So, yeah, they were like, yeah, well, your last day is the 30th, so we weren't going to tell you that, but since you asked.
Well, in honor of that, we're drinking barrel-aged beers, and we're double fisting beers. So.
Yeah, exactly.
Cheers. Yikes.
Yeah, so that's...
The job market. What a hellscape. Yeah. Capitalism.
So that's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, super fun. My sideboard is not that at all. I'm going to talk about a Bollywood movie, which is like the opposite of that.
I already know what it is.
Yeah, it's Triple R or RRR, whatever you want to call it. It's on Netflix right now. And, man, that movie goes places.
I love
it goes
Bollywood,
everywhere,
dude.
How can you not? Bollywood is... For anyone who's seen True Lies, there's a scene in that movie where Jamie Lee Curtis is shooting a gun and she drops it down the stairs. It keeps going off. It's rolling down the stairs. It's like a Uzi that somehow just keeps shooting, rolling down the stairs, and shoots somebody in the middle of the head. Just right between the eyes. Bullseye. Somebody saw that movie in India and was like, what if all of our movies were like that? Like, all Bollywood action movies are that level of insanity. And the best part about it is these aren't people that have superpowers. It's like, I'm a policeman, but somehow can like suplex a tiger in the jungle.
Yeah.
There's like no reason for it. It's like, yeah, dude, I just work here. I don't know any, you know, in like Kung Fu movies, it's like, okay, you're a normal guy, but you know, like this secret untaught form of karate. That's cool. In Bollywood movies, it's like, I'm just like a dude and I broke the power scanner with my power level. I just am like this. And Triple R is 3 hours long. So holy shit, it is a commitment. But man, I cried. I cried when I watched that movie.
Wow.
The acting, pretty good. And everyone, I love Bollywood because everything they're doing, they take serious. Even when it is ludicrous. The people that are in those movies act their hearts out. They have very real responses to ridiculous situations. And there's always going to be a song or dance number. And it's always great. And this movie was just fun and like crazy and cool. I mean, it was basically like Fuck the British, the movie.
Oh, yeah, I can get on board with that.
Yeah, because it takes place right when like the uprisings and stuff were happening in India over British control.
Yeah.
And a lot of the characters are based on real revolutionary leaders in India. And they kind of pay homage to them in the credits because every Bollywood movie has a credit dance sequence, like end of movie dance sequence.
Yeah.
And man, if you haven't seen this movie, you should. If nothing else, just go on YouTube and look up the soundtrack because every one of those songs has a music video. And if you are listening to this podcast and I don't know, there might be a listener. George is listening.
Yep.
George likes Trash Tribal. He likes us talking shit about Untapped. He will like Not To from Triple R. Watch the dance sequence in that. It is fucking phenomenal. They look like they're having so much fun. I can't dance at all. I want to be in that dance sequence forever. It looks like a blast. That's my sideboard. So a little bit different, but not horror movies.
Yeah, that's the little bit different. Is it's movies, but it's not horror movies.
Yeah, although I'm very excited for Pearl that's coming out. Pearl is a prequel to X, and if you haven't seen X, it is kind of a homage to Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but it's about porn. Well, kind of. It's like people went to go shoot a porn and then started getting killed. And
yes.
Pearl, yeah, you know. And Kid Cudi's in it, if that matters to you. It doesn't to me, but he's pretty good in that movie.
All right.
Yeah, so that's what I got for a sideboard. You got anything else to say, or are we gonna dip into socials?
I don't have anything else to say.
Cool. Well, if you guys liked what we had to say, and by you guys I mean the one person.
Yeah, Jonathan.
Yeah, Steve. Greg, if you like what we had to say, you can follow us on Instagram. We are Magic on Tap. There's a couple underscores in there. I'll let you figure out where they are. You can follow us on Untapped as well. It's Magic on Tap, believe it or not. YouTube, a little bit different. It's Magic on Tap.
Oh,
and then we do have a Facebook page now.
We do?
I made it. I figured it out.
6 weeks in.
Yeah, if you weren't sure, that one is like, it's kind of weird. It's Magic on Tap on our Facebook page.
Ooh.
We also
do you want to spell that
have
one
a
out? TikTok.
Yeah. It's MAJIC on Tap. And we have a TikTok, which is probably news to Jack.
Yeah.
It's Magic on Tap on TikTok as well.
Oh, shit. All
And
right.
so I guess, yeah. I don't know how to use TikTok, but we're going to figure it out
We're
together.
going to find out. All right, thanks for listening, and don't stop chopping until the pieces stop wiggling.